Yo, what the hell happened to my phone? There it is. What's going on, y'all?
What's up?
What's up,
Yeah,
guys?
Technical difficulties there?
yeah, I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Yeah, but what
Mm.
y'all doing?
Oh, not too much, man. Just another Saturday under the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all been
mine's
doing?
just started, so
What y'all been doing lately? What y'all been working on?
Oh man, I was trying to figure out which body I was gonna just do on each chassis. You just got to make that choice. So I just kind of mix and matched. Kind of saw which ones would be about the easiest to get over there, and
Yeah,
nothing's falling together. So it's just whatever the mountain you got to climb.
I've had
But
to
it's like you
abandon a
say
few
sometimes, Jeff,
bodies.
it just
I,
happens.
yeah, I've had to abandon a few in my day because it just as bad as I wanted to use them, they just weren't going to work. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Mm.
I hate that.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
started assembly on the DLR8 this week. So I've made a bit of progress on it, and I've started the body for it also.
Ooh,
Ooh.
nice.
There's not a whole hell of a lot of the original body left, as you can see.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah.
That's
We've got
crazy,
some
dude.
doors on the turret.
When you said you had to cut some out of that, you weren't kidding. There ain't nothing but the roof and the doors left. Doesn't look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And what are you sticking it together with?
So I do use usually just CA glue, and it's a weird relationship. Like this stuff won't fog or anything like that, so I use it to usually fix off parts to a painted body if I have to.
Right.
Um, super glue usually dries and then goes white and frosty looking. That
I
doesn't
hate
do it.
that.
So yeah, it's really good, but I did have troubles. So the rear fenders aren't properly fixed off yet. I want to fix the rear bumper and stuff, but I used it to fix off the front because that's all one piece.
Wow.
But I had trouble sticking the hood down, so I actually used it's like a Gorilla. The brand is Gorilla. It's like a contact adhesive. It's like a
Hmm.
gel. I
Yeah,
suppose it's similar to your B6000 and stuff like that
Yeah.
some guys use.
Yeah, I love that
I've
So
stuff.
got some of that Gorilla Glue you're talking about, man, and I like that stuff. It works really good.
it, it's good shit. Like once you stick something with it, it ain't coming off
Yep.
for the most part. Yeah.
Mm.
I tell you, one of the things that a lot of people screw up, like when they're using some Gorilla Glue products. I'm not sure about that contact adhesive, but man, if you'll read the instructions on the back of like regular Gorilla Glue, just throwing that out there, it specifically says in the instructions that you're supposed to have like a certain percentage of humidity. You're supposed to have it wet
Huh.
Yeah.
before it will actually work like it's intended to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people don't do that. Just a little useless information for you there.
So
Never
one
used it.
direction I thought
Good
about I
info.
was gonna go is I got this chassis here. I got it from my friend Grant way back in the day, and this is a custom chassis, a drift art, and it uses the GL gearbox in the rear and the drift art suspension everywhere else. So we call it the GLDA. So I
Pretty
have
good.
this kind of like it's almost like a Honda Odyssey minivan or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I'm thinking about putting this thing on there.
Dude, I love
You
it.
know, I liked how the wheels kind of stuck out. Ever since I did that circle track car, it's just I don't know. I'm not as obsessed with getting the wheels tucked in as I used to be. I think it looks kind of cool, but anyway, I mean, I don't really have any adjusting the wheelbase is not going to be hard at all, but I don't know, the front end, I have the bumper for it, but I have all these intercoolers and everything. And so I don't know. I'm thinking about doing something a little wild with this, just to have some fun with it. Um, you know, I don't
That's
know.
cool.
You just got to get a little
You could
creative.
always get you some epoxy putty, dude, and knock you out some like homemade fenders, man. Make them look
Yeah,
all.
I've tried that a couple times and it does work, I mean, obviously it turns out better the more practice that you have, but it's just kind of I don't know, weight really isn't too big of an issue, but I guess if I had any complaints, it would just be like, it just boosts the weight up quite a bit, but you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
it is fun playing with that stuff. I do have it. I use that AB putty, and you can kind of wet it a little bit, and it just allows you to kind of work with it a little bit longer.
Shoot, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Water is
I like
definitely
it.
your
I know
friend.
3Cs does a lot of great work. He did this body here back in the day. Right here, this has the fender kit that he made, and it's a cool little car. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, it's
He was the inspiration behind me actually trying to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I had sat there and watched his stuff. I was like, man, how do you do that? You know what I mean? And I couldn't even wait for him to put a video out before I had to try it myself. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, dude, like
it's
he's
funny.
good, man. He does it. That's for sure.
I kind of forgot I had this body. It's so funny. It didn't make the lineup last night when I was doing it, but oh yeah, but look at this, man. This thing just this will go right on there, bro. You know, and for the
Dude, that
most
looks
part.
good. It looks good with those
I
black
mean, I got
wheels.
the width right. Yeah, it's got the wheelbase and the track just about right. Hell, I could just do that. You know, it's a cool car.
That is a
It
cool
deserves to
body.
be on the track. You know, so yeah, we get that thing with the minivan I was talking about, but I got some fenders, over fenders that I printed. You know, that's also another fun part about this hobby is just you just do whatever you want. You know, if it
Yeah,
looks good to
I mean, if
you,
you can dream
go
it
for
up,
it.
you can
Yeah,
you
show
can
that
do it.
Camaro. Yeah, speaking of smoking the wrong combination,
Yeah, man,
you
I
know.
had to put the Camaro body back on it, man. Like it was
Can you tilt
too
the
good.
camera down a little bit so we can see it? Or yeah, there you go.
Let me see here. Let's size the
Yeah.
camera.
It's that 69 Camaro, right? Oh yeah. Was that your mother-in-law?
Yeah. She just shaved. Look, you see, we got the steering wheel in there. You see, he's actually holding the steering
Nice.
wheel too.
Man, that's awesome.
But I mean, you could take it out for weight savings. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get ready to crawl. Like I'm so
Hmm.
hooked into the crawling again. There's a lot of guys in the small scale community as far as crawlers go that are
Hmm.
light years ahead of where I'm at, and this is where I want to go at some point. Like I feel like if I could be as good at the building crawlers as I'd gotten at building drifters, you know what I'm saying? Like it'd be amazing. But it's so man, it's an art form, that's for sure, and it's something that I'm not really. I don't know. I'm not as good at the crawlers. I don't know. Mine's lacking something. I feel like I don't know.
Budget.
I'll throw some money at something now. I ain't no
Yeah.
worries. But it's the skill that I'm lacking. But anyways,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's the
buddy.
first thing that scared me about diving into this hobby. Like, I've had RCs my whole life, but never sort of, I suppose it stemmed back to being a little kid with my dad. Like he was always, and still is now, into, his RC stuff. And I conned him into sort of buying, when we done that pre-order for the NES 64, I showed him a look at it and he was like, damn, that is sick. I've got to have one just because he likes trinkets and little things like that.
Yeah.
So we he took Don Brett's place in the pre-order because he sort of forfeited his seat. So I, I got the deal going and Dad paid him the money. So yeah, we received two of them when we got them, and I opened mine straight away, and he was like, I'm not ever going to mess with that thing. Like it's just going to sit, in that tin, and it's just going to be a cool thing that I'll keep forever.
Yeah.
And I was like,
No, you should get it
you can
running
use
for
it.
him, you know?
Yeah, well, I would if I'd stopped breaking mine. I haven't even got mine running yet. I've broken mine twice trying to adjust turnbuckles. So
Damn.
I broke the top arm, which, okay, like the eyes, you can see I've got eyesight problems anyway, and that thing's damn small. So adjusting the
God, it's so
that's
sexy
cool.
though, dude. That's
Cool,
such a.
man.
So there's a real car that looks just like that. I'm trying to think of.
Oh yeah.
I follow it on Instagram. It's dude's got like
Yeah.
an LS in that freaking thing. That's slick. But go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
But yeah, no, you're right. So yeah, like I've never, I suppose, like back in the day, you know what I mean? It was always you guys call it Tamiya, I think. I call it Tamiya.
Yeah, to
Tamiya.
me. Yeah.
Tomatoes, tomatoes. Um,
You call a gyro a gyro too.
well, you know what? Since you've said that to me, every guy I listen to, even Australian guys, they say gyro, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? But anyway, that's just one of the things.
That's all
But
right, bro. Potato,
yeah, no,
potato, right?
Potato, exactly. But you know, back in the day, like it was just your polycarbonate bodies and your not polycarbonate. What do your clear bodies?
Lexan.
Um,
Yeah, Lexan.
Lexan,
Lexan,
polycarbonate.
yeah.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
The same shit, different smell.
Yeah.
But it was just basic paint jobs. It's like you'd go to the hobby shop and it's like pick a color. So you go in there and you pick your rattle can of your choice, which is usually a red or a blue or a yellow or black, maybe, who knows.
Yeah.
And then you had the smoke for the your windows, and you'd
Windows.
smoke
Yeah.
them out. It was just a basic paint job, maybe with some stickers on the outside, and that was as far as the hobby got. Like I'd never ever assembled the kits or
Yeah,
anything like
those were the
that.
good
Dad
old
always done that, so I
days.
was too young. But yeah, I think my first ever proper hobby grade RC car was the Wild one,
Oh yeah, that's a
and
nice one, man.
yeah, that thing scared the shit out of me because like Dad went to work one day and it was the sort of thing we'd drive together under supervision, and I was only young, so I got the thing out, and I think from memory, and that was my first hard lesson in RC. I connected the battery and turned the chassis on before I turned the transmitter on,
Oh
and this thing just
no.
took off, and it took off down the backyard so fast and went straight through the fence.
Oh
And
Lord.
Oh my
I
gosh.
was petrified. I was like, "How am I going to tell Dad this?"
Oh
That is
man.
bad,
True.
dude. I
Yeah, I
watched
So
think
I
my
yeah, when I
watched a
first
buddy
stepped
of
real
into
mine.
this, I was like,
Yeah, my first
yeah,
real
when I
one,
stepped
I
into
think
this,
I know I did. I traded a skateboard that skating was real big back in the day, so I got like my first real skateboard. And then I just saw this guy, he was driving, lived in my neighborhood. He was, older than me by a few years, but he had a Tamiya Frog, and I just loved
the
it. I
frog.
saw
That's
those
back in the
spiky
day
Somebody,
rear
too, dude.
tires and
That, so that would have been
crazy
what,
looking,
mid
such a
'80s.
crazy looking chassis. So I'm like, hey, I'll trade you my skateboard for the Frog, so
no
he
guts,
made
no
that
glory.
deal, and my folks were so unhappy, let's say, you
Why were
know.
they unhappy? If it seems like they'd want you off the skateboard.
No, I mean, because looking back, man, this thing was so roached out. I mean, it was not factory fresh by any means. And then, God, a friend of mine ended up getting like a Tamiya Fox, which I thought was super cool. And then, of course, you always got that one kid in the neighborhood who's got everything. And he had the RC10. And I mean, that was just like the pinnacle. I mean, we would go to the races with him and, help him out at the races. And it was just fun, And then, I don't know, I've always had something RC in my life pretty much the whole time. But now I just kind of collect the 10 scale stuff. I don't really use it too often. I mean, for no good reason. I don't even know why I don't use them, but mainly
Yeah,
because
you've
it's
got
hot
you've got
down here,
stuff around you that you could actually like go to drift tracks and stuff, man. Like I would
We
love to
got
be in a
one.
place like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't really have it like that down here. I mean, we should, but we got one real cool hobby shop. There's 3 locations of the same hobby shop, so that's kind of cool. But we have a pretty stable and growing like 10 scale drift scene. But I mean, compared to some of these places, some people got, man, it's like, yo, we are like in Cro-Magnon land over here.
Seems like it's better in the west. It seems like it's better on the west coast than it is on the east coast. I'm not sure why,
Yeah.
but
Some guy showed like a video that they were in a mall and like the mall had a hobby store and then next door
yeah,
they
I think
had a
that was
full on
Jack. I
track.
think Jack
Yeah,
Blanchard.
Jack
I think
Blanchard.
posted
Yeah.
that.
I was
Man, that
like,
was bad as hell.
Jesus,
Yeah, where was that?
man, I'd be homeless if I
He
was there,
lives.
man.
He
I'd
lives
just
in
be,
Louisiana. He lives in Louisiana, but I don't know that because he's been
I think that was
traveling
in
here lately.
Texas, maybe.
I
Might
don't
have been in
know.
Texas. I don't know. I don't know.
I was
But it
drooling
was
though. I
super
saw
cool.
that
It was
post
super
too, dude.
cool.
I was drooling. That was like RC Mega World or something. Is
I
what it was
mean,
called. It was
we used to
crazy.
have a place like that here, but when drones came out, God, they went so deep into drones, man. It was kind of disgusting. It's like, I mean, drones are cool and all, don't get me wrong, but I mean, you're talking a place that was divided up. Like, all right, it used to be an old like uh, food center. That's what it was. That's how big this place was, like a grocery store size. And you walk in and they would have train tracks, RC cars, planes,
Yeah.
boats. I mean, it had everything. And then when drones came out, I mean, they went so deep into those drones. I mean, it was like drones are us. I mean, they just stopped, resupplying the RC car stuff. And then they just kind of went out of business, and I don't know, it sucked, but you just got to kind of grab it, when they're there, try to support it as much as possible. The place down here, they keep the prices pretty much what they are online. So, you know, I
They
was
about
supposed to go
have
there
to. They
today. I
about
kind of
have to in
forgot.
this day and age. If they don't, they'll end up losing business like crazy because I mean it's just as
Yeah, but
easy
I
to.
can't even imagine how you can make money nowadays, man. It's like, I
Mm.
don't know, no one's looking to get rich, but man, you're just breaking even
A lot
at
of
a
the big time
minimum.
distributors. I know our local hobby store closed down. Good fella named Denny Voigt ran our little local store, and he had a track for a little while, just a little mini B track. You know, they would have different nights when they would do different stuff. But
Mm.
the way he explained it to me, he said, "Man, a lot of the big box, distributors like Traxxas and Arma, Horizon, all of them, man, it was almost like they were against." The little guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Oh
couldn't
yeah.
he couldn't
Oh, of course.
buy the things to put them on the shelf as cheap as we could order them, just offline. So like I mean it was
Hmm.
really really hard for him to stay and he tried to keep it open just as long as he could when it just finally, you know, he just couldn't do it anymore. He had to shut the doors.
Yeah.
It's a damn shame too because I feel like I kept
It's
the lights on in that
yeah.
place a few months. But
I think a track. I think if you had a track, whether it's drift track, crawler track, traction track, whatever, I think that's like the biggest draw because that's like the only thing that these places down here miss. Like they drop the ball with regard to just not having an outlet for this stuff. Like yeah, you can buy it, but like where can I use it? You find these people in the
Mm.
hobby, not necessarily even micro drift, but just hobby in general, buggies, what have you, and they're just like, well, where can I race at? Oh, well, yeah, there's no tracks around here. It's like, well, geez, like
yeah.
it gets rather kind of lame, after a couple, months by yourself at the local park, except for crawling, that's why I like crawling so much. It's because I could get into the scale aspect of it, just go on a nice trail walk, spend an hour or two out there just walking around, try not to tip
Yeah.
the truck over, just doing it as scale as possible. And
Dude,
then,
I
I
love
got
I
the
think
track here.
I love my small scale. Don't get me wrong, but one of our admin, Michael O'Born, I know I've probably introduced y'all to him through the group, but
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
he's got the ideas. He's got a STX the big one, the 6 scale,
Oh yeah.
the big sucker, and we're talking about like because the Appalachian Trail is just right there. Like you walk 30 feet, a little
Yeah.
bit
I
more,
heard the
but you know what I'm
banjo.
saying. It would be cool to just hit those trails with those big suckers. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and just and get your exercise in and have to do some RCing and yeah, man. Those suckers are heavy though. If it ran out of battery while you were on the trail, that would suck to have to carry that
No,
big
you have
sucker
to put it
back.
on your backpack. Yeah. When I did USCE, I saw that people's trucks would fail and they would just strap them to their backs with like bungee cords and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I don't know if you ever saw the European style rally racing, RC rally racing. They're
Yes.
like running around like it's almost like a I don't know, a CrossFit course. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
you're
dude.
chasing after your car.
It makes me tired just watching them try to follow those cars.
Yeah, so I have a really cool place. It's an equestrian park. That means horses, Jeff.
Yeah,
I'm just
I know.
so,
I know. I
I'm
know.
just fucking with
I'm in the
you.
woods,
So
but I ain't that
I
uneducated.
got an equestrian park across the street, and they got a really great sand path, like a dirt path that's about a mile and a half to 2 miles around it, and it's great for bringing your trucks and your Dakar rally trucks and so forth. But I was saying to a buddy of mine, I said, "Hey, listen, man, we should race. Like I start and I take the trail to the left." And you take the trail to the right, we'll basically pass each other on the back 40 racing back here to where we start and stopped at. And whoever's back first is basically, the winner of that rally. You know what I'm saying? So you got the driver and you have the vehicle, having to make this, trek, if you will. I don't know. It seemed kind of fun to me. It's not gonna kill you, but you
It
kind
might.
of yeah, yeah, well, it might, yeah, who knows? But I don't know, it seemed kind of fun, because people like, racing their cars. I just love seeing my cars tear it up, I gotta, you know what? I'm gonna get it out. I'm gonna show you because I
Go
think
ahead.
if I get it out, I'll put the, hold on, I'll show you. This is a
You've got
Christmas present from 2 Christmases ago.
you've got me thinking about like, man, it would be sweet to make one of our little mini drift cars a little rally car. Dude, like that's the kind of rally course I could run around. Is one small enough for those.
Yeah.
Like
The
18 by
beauty about
12
small scale
freaking.
stuff is, like you say, you can run it anywhere you want. Like
All right.
even that FCX, that the FMS Smasher V2, when I put that brushless combo in it, it
Yeah.
was dark. It was nighttime here, so I brought it into my theatre room where I set my drift track up, and I printed a little makeshift ramp which I just placed against the door, and made a little moon booter, and I was backflipping the sucker off the door of the theatre room.
A
Nice.
moon boater. That's cool.
I was
Yeah,
gonna, yeah, the moon booter.
A little moon
So
booter.
they have these horse jumping arenas and stuff, and they're just curated like sand mixed with felt. It's like a fluff. I mean, it's perfect. But yeah, I had the wifey get me this, so I can
that's cool.
basically run it there. I
That's
put a nice
rad, dude.
like 5500 kV motor in it.
What scale is it?
It's 10 scale. Yeah,
Oh.
it's big, and it even comes pre-assembled for the most part.
Oh wow.
I just
Kyosho
have
just makes some
never.
good stuff, man. I'm a fan of Kyosho. A lot of
You,
their
you
Yeah,
know
stuff
they
what
is
do.
makes this truck
fantastic.
interesting though is I remember the Hornet, how the Hornet had the motor on axle.
Yeah.
It's like a pod.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they
Yep.
did on this, and I think it actually kind of works for this truck because it's only two-wheel drive. It's got the stadium front end on it, which is nice.
Yeah.
But since the motor's on a pod, it kind of adds that traction value. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
Keeps
just
the
keeps the
weight down
price
super
down.
low too.
Yeah, it's here's like the back picture to it. But yeah, no,
Oh, cool.
I really like it, man. It's a really cool truck. I just have not really gotten around to using it yet, but you know what? I got it out. I'm gonna keep it out.
Weren't
And
you the one that had the Orlando stadium
oh
truck?
yeah,
Did you
oh
not
my
build did you
God.
not build that thing?
I just see it happens like when you take over the kitchen table, right? And things start getting a little out of control, right? And so these Orlandos with so tiny parts and this, that, and the other, I kept everything like on a cooking tin. So basically, the short answer is no, I haven't finished it yet. And the only reason is that we had some company coming over, and I had to clear the table off. So I basically just pulled everything, set it inside the drawers of my toolbox over here, and it's just all there, ready to go. Like $7,000 worth of Orlando stuff, and I just haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, I got a lot of unfinished projects, man. I'll be the first to admit it. But
So
I
Oh
can't
yeah.
I can't
I
do
was
nothing if
really
I'm not
curious
feeling it.
at
If
how
I'm
that
not
was going to
feeling
turn
it, I don't
out.
want to do it.
Yeah, I was
So
really curious at how that one was going to turn out. When you bought that, it really piqued my interest, and I was waiting to buy one until I saw what yours turned out like. So you probably saved me some money at the end of it.
well, it's interesting that I hadn't like I got it to a point to where because I was going to do like a drift inspired one. I painted the frame and I just did all this crazy stuff. I was going to decal it up. But they actually came out with some alloy bits for it, suspension arms and trailing
Yeah,
links and so forth. So it's kind of good that I didn't finish it because, once you finish it, I mean, honestly, I got through the whole front suspension. You know what? Let me get that thing out. Let me show you where we're at with that. All right.
yeah, yeah. That
Let's do it. Let's do
I
it.
have watched them online. I've watched video of them, and the suspension is fairly amazing looking for being what they are. You know what I'm saying? Like it looks
Mm.
like they're oil filled for all easier terms, I guess, but they're not.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Here we go. So this is what I got right here. But I don't know if you could see the front
Yeah,
suspension, but I mean it
yeah,
is like so much going on in this thing, man.
dude, that thing is
That's cool.
awesome looking though.
Yeah, it did like the
You've got to hurry up and build that thing. That's crazy,
yeah.
dude.
So yeah, the suspension is really just where it's at. I mean, it's with these side by side shocks that they have and so forth. It's just fully engineered. Oh, plus it's got a sway bar here in the front. I don't know if you could see that little sway bar,
Mm. Yeah.
Dude,
but
that's
I mean this
crazy,
thing
man.
is yeah, and for the size, it's
So is it
just
worth? Is it worth? Is the quality worth the price? That's what I want to know about that because those things aren't that cheap when it comes right down to it.
I gotta be honest, I don't even really know. Would I buy it again? Yeah, absolutely.
That's all you had
Um,
to say. It's good. Okay.
Mm.
but
That's all you had to say. Yes.
Yeah, my dad bought two of them, and I think just because of the scale of it and the size of it, he was just like, he built that one, I think the Hunter, and there's the stadium truck as well.
yeah, that's what this one is, the stadium truck.
Oh, is it? Okay, all right, cool. So yeah, he built the crawler one, not the truck.
Got like the
And
little
then he
sway
gave
bar in
him
the back.
both to my other little brother, and I was like, bro, he's never going to use them things. You should have shafted them my way. But yeah,
No,
Yeah,
they're a cool little thing.
the
Now, pretty
crawlers,
good quality little thing.
don't have my interest as much as the as that stadium truck does. Seems like
no, the
I've
Yeah,
stadium
yeah,
truck is legit. Um, you know what? I just gotta finish it, man. You just gotta hunker down,
yeah.
Also, everything like has to fit inside this, so I got like this really tiny ass battery. It's just
yeah.
every little screw, for the little steel plates. I mean, everything is perfectly machined and engineered without a doubt.
Yeah,
Perfection. Not one flaw in this thing that I've come across. But it's just the manipulation of these super tiny screws. I mean, you're talking like M1.2,
no
super,
shit.
super tiny stuff. And honestly, if it wasn't for my passion with the drift cars, I probably wouldn't have the
The
feel, for
tolerance.
putting together
Yeah,
something like this. And then the NES, as an example, is just something even beyond that. But I have this one, I have the Ford F-150, I have the Tundra, and I have the Rock Bouncer. And they're all optioned out. I just got to build them. And they make so many cool things. They make a real multi-bolt, like semi-truck style wheel. It has 32, perimeter bolts plus another 12. I mean, you're manipulating these tiny screws, man. It is maddening. It really is.
That's the part that scares the crap out of me. It's the reason why I didn't get the NES. Is I'm afraid I'll end up like Nick and having to fix it every 5 seconds.
well, at this point, it's like, the future's uncertain. Like I said, because once I broke that top arm at the front, sorry, sunlight's on a weird angle there. Once I broke that top arm, I ordered the parts from GT55, fixed it, knew where I went wrong, and I wasn't being forceful with the damn thing. I literally, they give you like a little, almost like a little strand of wire for your turnbuckle adjustment.
Yeah,
And
Okay.
I stuck that sucker in the bottom turnbuckle to try and increase the track width a bit to increase the camber. And it just went fucking tank and snapped. And I was like,
that's a heartbreaking feeling too, dude.
back to GT55 to order some more parts, So
Here's the
at this point, I
bouncer.
don't know.
Now
That's cool.
I've eyeballed
Yeah,
that one a
that's
couple times, and that's the only reason I hadn't bought that one is because of price. But man, that's sick looking, dude.
Oh yeah, no, I love this thing, man. I got the alloy axles. Um, it's just I kind of got it mocked up here with this chassis, but I just painted the chassis white. I just thought it looked kind of nice. Um, but yeah,
nice and
it's
clean.
got the servo on axle.
Dude, that's sick, man.
Yeah, I mean,
That's sick.
it's just such
It makes
a
stuff like this look huge. So this is the next project that I've been building. So I want like a competition style crawler. Bottom line, like I want one that'll just crawl over anything. And then, but I've never built one, or I've never really had any experience with one, so I didn't want to spend a ton of money. And freaking Mofo RC has has this wild chassis, as he calls it. It's got the carrier bearing for the drive shaft and everything. It leaves the links up super high. It's more like a
That's
3D
cool.
printed chassis, but it's designed to run on stock shocks. But I ended up doing the rear steer because I took the rear steer off of the Camaro, and yeah, we'll see how this goes, man. I'm excited to see how it performs. I ended up doing my typical do it for Dale and the rust on the body and
oh
chopped up the
yeah,
body to make it look like I love seeing those crawlers like that. Those comp crawlers that are nothing but like a partial body. You know what I'm saying? Just the cab. That's
yeah.
what I really really wanted, and it kind of worked out. And it's gonna look neat when it's done.
Yeah, no, it's got a great start to it.
Yeah, I can't wait to get this sucker done, man. But Endura, my gosh, man, Endura got the slowest shipping of any company I have ever seen. Like that. Anyways, neither here
Enjoy,
nor
got your back.
there. Yeah. They need to talk
I
to
actually bought some.
GT55. When GT55 swap distributors or they're shipping whoever they ship to, that they really knocked a home run because GT55 shipping now is like smoking considering where it's coming from. That's who Endura
Yeah.
needs to talk to. Endura needs to get a hold of Chang at GT55 and like get some info because they're lacking.
I think I'm going to go with the GTR on the LSD.
Yeah.
You know, just I was going to do the LSD on the that Chevy Nomad, that 55 station wagon, but I just love these wheels. You know, the offset on this is just going to turn out just right. You know,
I love when that
and
happens.
the LSD is just such a great piece of machinery. You know.
You can't go wrong with a good GTR body. You just can't go wrong. They make
Yeah.
Yeah,
perfect
no,
drift cars.
yeah, but they're four-wheel drive in real life, but either way, oh, you know what? I just bought from a buddy of mine named Adam. He sold me two Mini Z Mercedes bodies, all like liveried up and liveries that I haven't really seen around too much. So I got those in a box right here. Plus I got a new radio, so new Noble. So
Jeez,
yeah, I'm
yeah. You could put
just
20. You could put 20 cars on those Nobles, man. That's a fair amount of RCs to put on
It's
one
wild.
controller, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, it should take more though. I wish they had like an SD card on the Noble, so you could really expand it.
Yeah. Now let me
Mm.
tell you something. If you do have a Noble and you want to try to make your crawler work on a Noble, and you have an analog servo,
Mm.
make sure to check that before you actually bind it because you plug all that mess in and hit the on button, and you have not got that program correctly, you will fry some analog servos just like that. Ask
Huh.
me how I know.
Mm.
Mm.
That's not a good day.
Well,
Yeah.
they were old servos, and I'm really getting into these newer digitals, man. They really make it like the NSDRC. Those freaking God, they work so good. It's a
Yeah.
$60 $70 servo, but Lord, it's worth every penny. The things are awesome.
So let's
Yeah, I don't mind
see.
paying money for something if it's if it's good, works,
Yeah,
it's proven. Why not? Yeah,
yeah, but
100%.
I'm all about buying something once. Usually when you try to go the cheap route, you end up getting in trouble and having to buy it once or twice or three times, or
Yeah,
you
That's
know.
true.
it bites you in the ass.
Yeah.
It bites your ass every time.
Shoot, yeah.
Yeah. I love my little El Cheapo, like ready to run, like WL toys, MN models. I mean, I have the best luck with those. I'm telling you, I will drive those things. I mean, I'm still driving it. One of my favorites. I'll show it to you.
Hell yeah. You've got a cool garage over there, Dwight. Like, I mean, it's like a little playground right behind you. It's like the best shot for. I'm kind of jealous. Look at that thing. That's cool, dude.
I love this little JK. I
Dude, that's
mean,
badass.
That's sick.
like you just put like some normal tires on it, but man, no, this thing has got it all, man. I mean, it's got a opening tail. It's got a full interior,
What?
all the doors open.
Oh, I still got to send you those speakers. I've got to get that stuff out in the mail. Dwight, you're
Yeah,
going to
right
send me
here.
your
All the
address.
doors open. I mean, I think what I paid for this was like $65 or something like that. But
Oh shit.
I put some different tires on it. Just some FCX 24 tires, with these Enjoy little alloy, beauty rings or whatever.
Dude, I'd pay
I'm telling you.
$65 just to hawk the body off that thing. That's awesome.
Yeah, look, you got this big old thing. I converted to LiPo. It comes with like a Li-ion battery, but I put a little LiPo, like 800 milliamp battery. And the hood is great, man. It's got two little like push downs on each thing, and you push them again, and they open up. Like those cabinets.
Dude, that's cool, man.
Mhm.
It's got great suspension. The 4-wheel drive works really well. It's got lights. And then I got this Endura. I didn't really like it. It wasn't too scale, so I never mounted it. But I had some kid over. He's like, "Oh, let me buy that off you." I said, "Oh yeah." He says, "Well, what can I put it on?" And it just happens to fit like right here
That's
in
cool,
the
dude.
front. Like
I love when
it's
something like that was
perfect.
in.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna mount this up right here. But I'm I mean, for my crawling style, it's perfect because I just like, what do we call scrawling down here, just scale crawling, like, places that a JK could probably go, still got the stock servo, stock everything.
I feel like
And all
you're.
It's
I feel
usually
like
the
you're one of
simple.
brakes,
those all or nothing kind of guys. I feel like you're a she'll either go or she'll blow kind of fellas.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I'm not even joking. So when I first got this TRX4M, my Discovery, I'm just in love with that too. That's a really nice little truck. So it's kind of embarrassing, but whatever. I take my dogs on a walk on that park that I was telling you about across the street. So the trail's about, let's say, a mile and a half, 2 miles around, right? So I take this truck here, charge it up, do it on a shakedown run. I take the dogs there, and my wife is with me with her friend, and they just love that I love RC. Like, they think it's cute or whatever the case may be. But then they're like, her friend's kind of into fitness and shit, so she's like, "Oh, can we walk the trail again?" I'm like, all right, like shit, all right. So I'm just like, whatever, I'm just gonna see if this truck will make 2 laps. I mean, and it was, and so we're like within the last quarter mile, and I swear, it was like I was in like a rally observation helicopter, following the truck. It's like he's at the last, 2 miles of this rally, can he make it?
Come
I
on.
was like, yeah, it really was, man. And I felt inside like this struggle of man and machine kind of thing. I don't know, it's interesting. Like when you go crawling or when you throw like a sick line, on your drifter, and you're really just kind of trusting that you kind of got it right. There's that apprehension. Am I going to clip the wall or am I going to, it's either going to be awesome or call the ambulance. It's like one of the two,
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
so yeah, and I don't know, it's something interesting about that. I think that it's fun for, people to play, to assume the role of playing, because,
Yeah, dude.
that's where the fun comes in, everyone gets what they want out of it. And I like taking new people to go crawling and, they're like, "Oh, I don't know. Can the truck make it?" I said, "I don't know. I'm not driving it. I mean, do you think it can make it?" Like, you have this
yeah.
alter ego that kind of, comes out. Like normal Dwight wouldn't do that, but scale Dwight, definitely. We're gonna try this
Yeah, the
shit.
consequences aren't near as bad. Like, I mean, it's either, walking 15 miles back home in a real car or picking up a tiny one and putting it in the car going home. You know what I'm saying? Like, the consequences aren't near as bad. If I wreck my
No,
bullet
no,
Mustang
certainly.
sideways and clip a pole, it's going to be bad. The insurance is going to be involved. The police are probably going to be
Oh
there. If I
God.
if I hit a
Well,
if I hit a curb, in one of these little drift cars, it's okay. I'll go back. I got some super glue and some paint, and we'll fix it. It's no big deal.
Yeah, yeah, a
those
little
Mustangs, they usually
JK.
run into a pole. They usually isn't it a crowd of people?
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I get so tired of that mess. That's everybody that sees a Mustang thinks automatically that's a crowd killer, man. Like it's the driver, man. It's always been the driver. I hear it all
Yeah,
the time though. Just as soon as they see that I've got a Mustang, that's the first thing comes out of their mouth. It's not my fault that there's some
yeah.
non-driver. That's crazy. What is that thing?
Yeah, so this is from WPL. This is a four-wheel drive buggy, scale
That's
buggy.
cool.
Looks like a
And
military
I
buggy.
just put some generic eBay tires and rims on it and so forth. But it's got the trailing link suspension. But the fact that it's four-wheel drive, and I mean all the engineering that they did to get this thing like got a smooth bottom. There's really nothing too special about it. But it's got a fully like rendered engine, kind of like a Volkswagen engine of sorts.
Dude, that's cool, man.
And again, it's just fun to drive. This little lid pops off right here. You could put your battery, take like a 350 milliamp lipo.
Yeah.
And then it's just fun, man. You know, you just get it out there. It's waterproof. You know, I dunked it. You know, again, I just see stuff I like and I just buy it, and you know, it's just fulfilling.
I bet
Oh,
your
did that
collection
break?
is insane. You break out something new every time I'm talking to you, whether it's in a private conversation or on one of these calls that we post. Like, you
Yeah, let me
literally
see.
bust out something different every cotton picking time you're on the. That's crazy, dude. Like, I think you've got a collection that would put all of ours to shame. I think me and Nick probably couldn't combine our collection and
No,
it be
no,
anywhere
no way.
close to what you got going on.
Just
Yeah,
what
I
he's
don't
got on
know.
that
You know,
little
I
front
appreciate
section of the
that, but
table
something I've been
there.
really wanting to do. So I go to USTE in 2019, right? 2019 BC, before COVID, right? And I'm there. It's like the last day. I'm walking around in the pits, and that's generally when you're buying everything, right? So I've seen these bodies. They're massive, and I'm like, yo, I saw them when I was there, and I'm like, oh, he probably wants a lot of money for those. So I kind of passed on it. And at the end of the event, I'm walking back, and I still see these two bodies, and I say to the guy, I said, hey, man, how much are you asking for those? He goes, man, you're the first guy in the 3 days that's even asked about those, because it was a crawler event, and these aren't crawler bodies. So I got two of these. One's fully complete, but this is the one I keep on display, right? And these are these
That's cool.
Jesse James, um, like whatever, his Monster Garage or whatever. But
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I got two of these, right? And so essentially I'm just gonna get two like Red Cat 8th scale bashers, and
yeah,
I'm just gonna cut the chassis and lengthen them because the width is perfect. But essentially I'm gonna make some drag cars out of these, you know? I mean,
yeah.
I don't
Sure,
have the
sure.
doors, but I could fabricate like a roll cage. I mean, oh, check
That's
this out
cool.
though. All right,
You
so
could do a
this hood
sand
opens
bag.
up. I'm just going to take the hood off. But now, remind you, this will be scale in my world at least. But I'm going to drop this big old motor in here, right?
Is that a
It
working?
damn
Is that a
near
working
fits.
motor?
No, it's not a working motor, but it's out of like some like drag car or whatever. But it's perfect, man. I mean, it's like
Golly.
it'll bolt right up, man. It'll
So
bolt right up.
Nick's dad
Is
Nick
that
sent me a
so?
freaking picture not too long ago. You could tell the story there, Nick. Like holy crap, dude, that thing is
I can't remember
nuts.
the brand of it, and it's not actually that fast. I think it's just the factor of having something that cool. But he bought it off a local guy who
Oh,
had
a
it on for sale
Connolly,
on one.
a Connolly
Uh,
V8.
no, I don't
It's
know.
got those scale actually working V8 motor in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
One of
It's
those
yeah,
a nitro,
freaking
it's a
yeah.
nitro V8 motor. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
The
got like
first
a
ones were called the Connollys, and you had to be a machinist in order to get one to work. And then they got a toy van, or Toyvan, something
Yeah,
like that.
I think yep, I think
That's
that
it.
is the brand.
I think
Yep.
that's
Yeah,
the one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're
Um,
super
and
cool.
he hasn't had it running yet, but I can't remember what he said he was going to put the motor on. Maybe a boat,
Yeah, that's what you said. You said something
maybe.
like he was going to take it out of that,
Perfect.
put it on a boat. But like, man, that thing
Yeah.
is so cool, dude.
Yeah, a jet
And but
boat
like
would be nice.
yeah, but I think he was going to do one of the old wooden, the Ferrari boat, like the model
Oh
kit,
yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
or the
Yeah, the crew craft.
Riviera maybe,
Yeah,
or a Riviera, I think.
Riviera.
But
Yeah,
Riviera, yeah, that's his plan for that motor.
nice.
But he's just got to find the plans, and he's finicky like that. Like he'll fuck with something for months and months and months until and like I've seen him build model ships and stuff with all your little tiny planks of timber with the gold brass tap in tacks, and
Oh yeah, I love that
he's a
stuff.
he's a
that's rad,
freak.
dude. It's
Like
cool
I
that
don't
your
know if I've
dad's.
showed
It's
you,
cool
Jeff.
that your dad's into that stuff, man. Because like I could only imagine that there's not many fathers out there of 40-year-old children that are
Yeah.
still doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, like I said, he's
My
with his scale semis, like his semi trucks or semi trucks as you guys call them. He started out with the Tamiya stuff, like all the big semi trucks you could buy,
yeah,
and paint them and build them and all that, and they were cool. But then he got into this other brand from Germany called Scale Art,
Oh yeah, Scale
and
Art makes some good stuff, man.
oh,
They got that
I
Unimog,
think
man. That thing looks so sick.
well
yeah,
he's got a truck and it's got an actual Powfinger high ab crane on the back of it.
Yeah,
And
hydraulic.
it's got a tipper. Yeah, it's all hydraulic. And
Yeah.
when he bought that from Scale Art, he was telling me the story the other day. He was like, "Oh, can I get some instructions on how to build this thing?" And they were like, we don't have instructions. You've just got to kind of do it. And so, yeah, he built this thing from scratch. He's a freak. Like, he's a proper freak. He's got a big excavator, which I think
Oh,
back
dude,
in the day.
that's the next step right there.
Those
That's what I
cranes and
want to go to.
excavators are so cool, man. I see these guys
The
over in
bigger,
like Vietnam, you know, they're just building some crazy, crazy construction equipment.
Yeah,
You
and they
know?
yeah.
look so real. They look so real. Somebody had sent me
Oh,
one not too long ago of this huge truck hauling an excavator on a trailer or some shit. And he's trying to cross this homemade bridge, and I swear to you, this thing looks real. And it
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
to,
yep.
he's losing it, and he lost the front tire, and he's getting ready to crash and go off this bridge. It's going to be this spectacular crash, and it goes to rolling off the bridge, and all of a sudden this dude moves in with his hand and
Hand of
stops it. And
God.
you're like, what?
Thanks,
This thing looks
buddy.
real.
Well,
Yeah.
the amount of stuff, like, I'm not even joking, that scale art stuff. I think Dad's got a couple of trucks, that excavator, trailer, maybe. And he's still not done with fully setting it up, like the wiring and all the hydraulics and stuff like that is
Yeah.
crazy, and trying to link the thing to like the respective channels on the radio. And I think the truck runs 2 receivers, and you've got to switch between the 2 for different functionality.
Yeah, what radios he
But I
using? A
think
Paladin? That's a
I don't know.
Paladin radio from Flash
He only just got one, and he bought it from Scale Art. I think the radio cost him something phenomenal, like maybe $3,500 Australian dollars. It was
Yeah, yeah.
crazy.
Good Lord, just for
But
the
I think
No,
in his
I
controller?
mean,
lifetime,
yeah,
he was
that's like
saying,
a total big boy
yeah,
toy right there, man, for sure.
yeah, it's crazy. But he spent, I think, in Australian dollars, I think the excavator was something crazy like 20,000 euro when he bought it.
What?
But he bought it
What?
assembled
Holy
That's
crap,
like
dude! You
in a
gotta
25
be
box.
kidding
grand,
me!
man. Yeah. No, but
And
it's
when he got
Golly.
but if you see them
it,
with the hydraulic actuation, they could drop the bucket, pick up like the
I've seen it.
the
I've
demolition
seen
yeah,
some
saw.
stuff online that has blown my mind, dude. That like even the quick connector
Yeah,
couplings to
exactly.
hook different attachments
the
up.
whole
Like
thing,
what?
yeah, it's all scale. Even like the thing and out of all that, the thing that got me the most was the size of the scale wheel nuts for the truck rims.
Yeah.
Like, like these billet aluminium truck rims that come with it, and the nuts, like they're a proper dome top nut, like you'd see on
Yeah.
a semi truck.
That's
And
It's
crazy,
like,
it's
dude.
literally built from plans, just scaled down, yeah. And
it's
that's how that
yeah.
Orlando, this one truck wheel that I have, again, it's got like 32, I think, perimeter screws on there, and they
Was
are
that is
true
that the bead lock one?
multi-piece. Like,
Yeah,
huh?
the
Yeah,
the bead lock. Yeah, I've seen them.
yeah.
They're
It's
nuts, and they're tiny.
well because on a scale semi truck, right? You have the main hub that has its ring of
Yep.
bolts, and then
Mm-hmm.
you have this outer one. But this is like a military, like a Max Pro. It's like one of their. They don't offer that tire on any of their vehicles. It's just they offer it as an option. So anyway, I picked that up. I was going to put it on the Tundra that I have because I guess really the only thing holding back those Orlandos is the powertrain. You could get those small N20 motors with a built-in gearbox on them, and
Yeah.
they sell those in many different RPM versions. So I got like a 2000 RPM version, which is smoking fast. And essentially, I just want to kind of take it out there and run like scale speeds, put it through like durability tests. I know they're not
What kind of
necessarily made for
servo?
that, but
What kind of servos go in those
just a
Orlandos?
micro, like just a teeny tiny, like
Kind of like
I
what's in the
it's
D32.
yeah, about that. I think actually the D32 might actually be bigger, but
Dang,
these are
that's
like
fine.
9 gram, 3 gram servo, like you find them on like the little baby airplanes or super tiny drone,
Yeah.
they have they have like a curly Q spring with 2 little tangs on it, for the servo saver. So on the servo, kind of hard to imagine, but let's say you got like this curled up spring with the 2 tangs on it. When you put it in the device that holds it, and you got the steering rods coming off it, it has 2 little areas where you could bend that tang to put it in to have more tension, or out to have less tension. So it's got like adjustable steering, servo saver, and again, in that size and scale, someone like made that. All those parts were made specifically for that. You're not finding that in the wild anywhere. So
Yeah.
hats
Yeah.
off to people that can just get the dream out. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
that's the reason those things cost what they do too, because like you could only imagine what it actually takes to put something like that into production, make it all work, then put
Yeah,
it in a box with instructions and let
yeah.
some
No,
random
I
knucklehead
know.
like us build it. Like you, that's
Yeah.
impressive, man. It's
No,
impressive.
it's not a job I would want, to be quite honest with you.
You gotta
But
love it. I'd say you gotta love it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
Well, listen,
100%.
I enjoyed today's small talk, man. I ain't gonna lie. I always have a good time talking with you guys. I will push on some projects, and you know, the main project is get my phone camera fixed because I only have the front-facing camera right now. But when I get the other side fixed, you know, we could get into doing some tutorial stuff or some
yeah.
how-tos or what have you. You
Yeah,
know, I think
I
that'll
want to
be
talk to a
most
couple of
fun.
people and have us a couple guests on too, man. Some people like Mikos and you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Some people that are big into this game that can really give some insight into you know into the hobby.
Definitely,
Yep.
definitely. I'll have a parade of bodies and chassis and what direction I'm gonna go. You know, maybe I'll just show like, you know, what it's supposed to be. But I don't know. Let's count them up. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
We don't have that much longer. You're
10, 11,
gonna have to quit.
we
there's
cut to a little break.
23. There's 23 that I could see right now that are chassis mated to bodies, but they're
Yeah,
not mated. They're just like, hey, I'm
I've
gonna
got to get the
take this
old
one
Meta
to this one.
X. I've got to get the old Meta X finished up. It's sat here for too long without
Yeah.
a body. I need a
Oh, I
body
got
on this
those
thing.
screws, those ones you buggered up, you know, those real tiny M1.6 by 2,
Yeah,
so those grubs. I
yeah. You
bought
got the
some out of
better ones.
yeah, the black steel. I got them black steel ones.
Better, way
So
better.
well, they're 12.9, so, you know, the metal they're made out of, like stainless is actually kind of soft, you know, in that scale. So I didn't go with the shiny stainless. I went for those black buggers. So let's see. That 12.9 steel is like a tool steel. So
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
not like I'm gonna
yeah.
put a whole bunch of torque on it, but man, you know as well as I do, that point 0.7 torques is like, how do they even make that? It's like, you know,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ridiculous.
you're
The
looking at it and
threads
I'm
and
like, is there threads on this? Like, what
it goes
the
through my head sometimes how they do they sell a tap and die? Like what? And where would you even begin to? I mean, they have to have a tap and die, or they would not have they wouldn't have them made in the first place. But like that's
That's what
just
I'm
it's
saying.
mind blowing.
Yeah.
It's so small.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
price wasn't bad, just the weight, you know, I couldn't find nothing in the States, but I think I got like a bag of 50 of them for like 3 or 4 bucks. So
I'm gonna send you some speakers and some other stuff. Why don't you send me a handful of them things in
okay,
its
yeah, yeah, yeah.
place?
I ain't got no problem with that.
For sure. I've been
Yeah,
meaning to send you that. I've been meaning
10
to
should
send
do
you
the
some
whole
street.
car.
I've been meaning to send you some street lights and this stuff. Anyways, I've got a little
What
care package for
how
you.
many you think it will handle it? 10?
What's that?
The those grubs. I haven't built mine yet.
So it's not that much. Let's
Oh
see
shit!
here.
You'd be looking at
One,
6
two,
or
three,
8 of
four,
them, I
five,
think
six,
maybe.
7, 8. Well, it depends. If you put one on every hole, in every hole on the arms, there's two holes on each arm.
All right, so that's
It probably
8.
10 or 15. It'd be because I'm gonna
Okay.
keep screws in some. I'm gonna keep screws in some of these. It's just easier to mess with. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mm.
So you know, but it would be nice because I've got another one of these on the shelf to build. Somebody was supposed to get back to me on a color change, but haven't heard much about it yet.
No problem, no problem. Yeah, I'll send you like 15, and then those will be basically the strongest you can get in that
Yeah.
scale. So, and I
Well,
just use the
I'm
B
sure I'll find
7000.
a way to strip. I'm sure I'll find a way to round it out anyway. So that's cool.
All right, all right.
I got your gears all bagged up finally too, Jeff. Address on the
Yeah.
envelope and everything. So
Hey, listen,
I
instead of
did
you
try to go.
spending a ton of money to ship stuff like that, I know you were going to send some to Dwight too. Just send them to one of us, and then I can ship to him, or he can ship to me, and it'll save you
Well,
some money
Yeah.
on the back end because I know it's insane to
well,
ship to Australia. It's
there
one
is
of
a
the only
couple of
reasons
sets
I didn't
in the
buy from
bag.
Simon that last time was because like I did the shipping math and was like, oh my gosh, dude, like
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't make any
yeah,
sense.
yeah. It's crazy. It's expensive, but even still, I think I gave you the file for it too, Dwight. So
Yeah, I got a bunch
um,
of files from you. I just, you know, with work, I haven't had a chance to crack them open, but I
yeah,
will, and thank you for that, you know.
but yeah, no. If like Jeff, if you don't want to post or whatever, there's a couple of sets in the bag. Yes, but yeah, Dwight has the file as well. So um, the orientation of them is pretty crucial. Like, not
Yeah.
crucial, but like, yeah, you've got to kind of have pretty strict support placement for them to turn out
Yeah, I
properly.
usually do my own supports. I mean, I'll do the auto support and then I'll just kind of go in and edit it and so forth based upon what
Yeah.
I think, you know. But yeah,
Yeah,
I've had some pretty good success. It's just you know, God, you know, there's just not enough time in the day, you know. It's
I
like,
feel you,
geez.
dude.
Yeah.
I feel you. If we could just
Yeah.
dedicate a solid 12 hours a day to playing with our toys.
Yeah. That's called retirement. Yeah, one day. All right,
If
well, listen,
only,
man, I got a
if
jam.
only.
I got a birthday party to attend, but yeah, we'll see each other next week,
Good chat, bro. Yep.
and keep all
Sounds
your
good.
fingers and toes.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll catch you
All
on
righty,
the
man.
next one.
Take care.
See ya.
Take it easy.